Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be trying out the new Coca-Cola 1971 Morphe palette. If you are interested in seeing how this palette performs, and I will also be talking about how I think it compares to last year's Coke palette, then please keep watching. I'm currently filming this at night right now, hence just how dark everything is. I was gonna film it earlier, but I had a very busy day, so that didn't happen, and then I just couldn't sleep, so I thought, you know what, let's just dive in and film it now. We are going to be reviewing the Morphe Coca-Cola 1971 Unity Collection palette. This is what the inside of the palette looks like. I believe this palette retails for $32 Canadian or something like that. I will put the price in the description down below. There are actually two palettes this year for the Morphe collection. There is this palette here, and there is also a hard case palette. Honestly, this palette looked more appealing to me, and it was actually quite a bit cheaper. This one also is kind of a similar style to the palette last year, so I really wanted to compare these two as well side by side. So that's why I picked up this palette here. Looking at these two palettes side by side, they are very similar, exact same shape. I would say a lot of the neutral colors are pretty much the same. They got a lot of the same browns and nudes and stuff like that, but the pops of color are different. Last year's had more like reds, and this year has more almost like pastel-y glitters, which are kind of interesting. These are the Morphe Coke shades swatched. And then on the top here, I put some of the shades from the 2020 Coke Morphe palette that I thought were repeat shades. I think some improvements of this year's palette is they put the shade names right on the palette, where last year's palette, in order to see the shade names, you need to keep the like plastic insert, which I don't like to keep those. I like to just get rid of them because they just constantly slide out of the palette. So I do like this improvement that they made with this palette. I was really drawn to last year's color story. I actually used a lot of those reds and the gold there around Christmas time, and I thought that that was a really pretty seasonal eyeshadow. However, this color story is real interesting, like some of the pastels, so it'll be neat to work with some of those. I'm going to zoom you in and we will get started on an eye look. First, we're going to start with the shade That's the Spirit at the top there. And I'm going to work that shade into my crease. So far, so good. It's quite pigmented. I do enjoy Morphe's shadows. I wouldn't say I love them. I don't know, I don't find them like that exciting, except for the Coke collections. I don't know what it is, but the Coke collections I just think are so neat. While on a road trip a couple years back in 2018, my husband and I, we were in Atlanta, Georgia, where they have like the Coke Museum, and we got to like go through and hear about like the history of Coke and design our own like Coke label and everything, and that was just such a neat experience. I enjoy the Coke franchise and the whole secret formula, and I don't know, it kind of sounds like SpongeBob, but yeah. So I think like these are the only Morphe palettes I think that really get me excited. Definitely adding a lot of product. Let me just go on a little bit more on this side because I kind of went really hard with the other side. Okay, now I'm going to go in with shade Oh Honey. It's kind of like an orangey, and I'm gonna buff that a little bit into the crease as well, just a little bit lower than the other one. I'm gonna go in with one of these brown shades kind of in my outer crease. I'm gonna go in with Commercial Break. So I'm just gonna take that and just pat it on my outer corner. This is definitely taking quite a bit to blend out, and it's looking a little patchy, not gonna lie. Well, if I put on some color after, it should be okay. Let's just blend out the edges here at least. Okay, I'm gonna go into shade 1971 just because it is really pretty. I'm gonna just take it on my finger and I'm gonna pop it all over my lid. And then we're gonna do the other side the exact same. And now we're gonna take our brush and we're just gonna blend that out. It's definitely a very, very bright look. Like, wow. Wow, that is an intense blue. Now we're gonna take shade Poptimistic. I guess that one is Coke related. And we're gonna put that on our outer corner here. Really press that in. And then again, we're going to buff out our crease a little bit. I actually think I'm going to take the green shade, where is it? Hilltop Hope. And I'm gonna put that in my inner corner. Just because I'm feeling bold, wow. We're gonna go for it. I'm gonna take shade Loved Up at the bottom. I'm gonna take that on, no. I'm gonna take that on this brush here. And we're going to put that on our lash line. And we're gonna add a little bit of the orange shade Total Unity at the bottom there. We're gonna put that on that brush too, and we're also gonna add it on the lower lash line. And then we're gonna take Lovey Dovey. I'm gonna just take it on my finger because I'm being lazy. I'm just going to tap it under my brow bone there. This is the final look here. I don't think this is my favorite look overall, but to be honest, the purpose of this video was to see how a lot of these colors perform. And even though that this is a lot brighter than I would wear on a daily basis, I do think that these colors performed quite nicely. The shimmers in this palette I think are very impressive. The mattes are so-so. I honestly don't think that the mattes are the greatest or that they blend the easiest, especially the darker shades. The lighter ones are okay, but like the darker browns are just not, they're not as good as other formulas that I've tried. Comparing it to the palette from last year, I think it's a good palette. I think it's nice that the overall vibe of the palette is different, and I like that they changed that. However, I do think I like the color story from last year. I love the reds from the 2020 Coke palette. But it is a really pretty palette and it's nice to add to the collection. I do think that this is a very affordable palette. I think that with Morphe, all Morphe palettes really. And if you are interested in it, I think it is a good buy. Same with other Morphe palettes. And you really can create a good amount of looks with this palette. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below. Down below your favorite beverage. What kind of beverage do you like? Do you like pop? What kind of pop do you like? What's your favorite Coke product? Just comment down below with your favorite beverage. I'm very interested to know. I am not a pop person personally. I like the taste of pop, but I just don't drink it anymore. I cut it out years ago, and now whenever I drink it, I tend to get a really bad headache. However, I love lemonade. Lemonade's probably my favorite drink, hands down. So, yeah. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.